From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. Two of the bigger disappointments in the first quarter of the season doing battle here as we get this one underway. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's going to be brought down inside the 5 at the 3.
That return, it will not be on the postseason highlight reel. If you're the offensive coordinator, you've just changed your play calling because you thought you might have some field to work with. Instead, now, you've got to call plays that won't make mistakes.
First carry for their fullback. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Here's Wilson. And check down, complete to Hall. And he'll go out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The Jets have 1-3 here in the early part of the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. That ain't going to be tough to beat in this one.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And the Jets are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back, drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there. On the move past the 40. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 44 yards.
Well, that's something that this defense is not going to be able to allow if they're going to have success here. They've got to be able to wrap up and get guys on the ground. They end up letting him get away, and it turns into a big play here early on. I can just see veteran observers of the game shaking their heads and talking about the dearth of tackling in the game today.
And really a nice job there to make something out of that run, sidestepping defenders for a pickup of 4.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. Touchdown! C.J. Uzama. His first touchdown on the year. And the Jets get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Zerline good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Here comes Jalen Waddle from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up. This defense for the Jets, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
2nd down and another run with Edmonds. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And this is going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. Hall. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Hall again on 2nd down. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors here in the first quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust because both have made their mistakes, as you said.
Yeah, and whoever can do that can seize firm control of this game, something they haven't done with the ball so far.
Meanwhile, Tua's throws taken in by Waddle. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Tua. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Now Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
On first down, right back to Hall. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number one. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Wilson to throw. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard, and he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. I mean, what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah that time able to drop him for a loss.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Play action, now it's Tua. This will be caught. It's Waddle. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle, 29 yards. And the Dolphins have moved out in front.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 14-7. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. That 7-0 lead in there is short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. Open man is Uzomah. Oh, what a juke into space. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 44-yard line. Here's Wilson. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. First down.
The general manager of the New York Jets continues to make investments in the receiver room in this draft. 10th overall pick. They invested again, this time with Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. Great speed, outstanding body control, really goes up and snatches the ball out of the air. Everything that you're looking for in a WR1. He gets the first down right there.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there. It keeps them advancing the ball.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
Chopper! Chopper! Go!
Now it's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for him. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
So Wilson runs off, and now they will go to the man they call Greg the Leg, Greg Zuerlein. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're starting to put some space here. The first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. Edmonds running out of the shotgun. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Looking to pass. Tua. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On play action, here's Tua. And going deep for Hill. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And again, it's Tagovailoa. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Jets are going to take possession as they got it at the 42-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Now Wilson. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. On the move past the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins will take over possession here up at the 44. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Rookie Jermaine Johnson going all the way from last chance U to now dropping NFL quarterbacks. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Waddle going to bring this out of the end zone now. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Again, they run with Edmonds. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on third down.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Here's Berrios. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Jets will take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for the second half.
44 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ball again on second down. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wilson. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now whistles come in before the snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved. fast start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. He's got room at the 30. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Elijah Moore. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets have retaken a 3rd-quarter lead. Zerline connects on the extra point. And it's now 17-14. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Second and 5 now. Tua. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So pass interference, the call there. Always, obviously, Charles, such a subjective call. You agree with the penalty?
Well, from where we're standing right now, I think the officials are tightening things up here in the second half. Maybe a defender gets away with that in the first. But this time the flag comes out, and I think it's a good call. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A good pickup there, a 22. A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here. Running left, here's Edmonds. He'll take this to the 46.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Tua. Wilson's got it complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now we'll run straight ahead with Edmonds. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 12. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Wilson's got it on the crossing route. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That puts him in excellent position. First and goal after a gain of 19.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On the handoff, it's Edmonds. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Quinnen Williams, so hard to block, and he shows it that time, making the tackle for loss.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
On second and goal, Tua. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Tua now, third and goal. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Jets are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here because they were sharp in moving it down the field. But sometimes you start thinking like a touchdown is a given. And it doesn't always work out that way as we saw there.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Give them a couple on the carry there. Second and 8. Got to figure now after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell them to take care of the ball and try and move forward.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day because this could leave lasting damage.
And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. Chase Edmonds with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Sanders on for the extra point. It's up and good to make it 21-17.
Makes the score Dolphins 21, Jets 17.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
Here's Hall again. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 70 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
66. Move it high.
Hall on a give up the middle. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Ball again on second down. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
This is Wilson on the jet sweep. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Throwing now is Wilson. Open man here is Conklin. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run with Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Wilson to throw. The quick slant caught. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow.
outstanding drive right there to take the lead, and also, Charles, didn't leave their opposition with a whole lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, I like the way that you're viewing this because they did a tremendous job to put themselves in a position to win, but they can't celebrate just yet. They've got to clamp down on any big plays and force them to use up those timeouts without making any headway.
Waddle will return this from the end zone. Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a very solid return out across the 45-yard line before going out of bounds.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. So remember, Charles, last time they were out here, they scored, but they just saw the opposition score, and they're trailing right now, so they're trying to keep pace here. They need a touchdown drive.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, you're loving this, but if you're a fan of defense, this is tough to watch, and it's also tough to keep that up when you just watch your opponent march down the field on a scoring drive that lasts into double-digit snaps. You need a score here, not just to follow the momentum from your last drive, but put the onus back on your opponent. And that's what they're doing right now, swapping that onus back and forth.
Now Tua. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball. He could not hang on. Second down coming up.
Boy, this crowd is on pins and needles now because anytime you see the ball heading for the end zone, you really hold your breath, and they come out of their seats. That one falls incomplete.
Tua to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. A costly sack. They'll have to use a timeout here. And barring a defensive penalty, they'll be looking at one final play. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. 4 seconds to go. This will send us to overtime. And that is no good. Wide to the right. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. So 3 points, the deciding margin. And the kick no good at the end. It could have sent us to overtime. And while it was a decently long kick, we've almost gotten to the point with these kickers these